guest today is a distinguished scientist and researcher. And before I introduce him, I would like to offer you a copy of my book, Cancer Beyond the Magic Bullet. Absolutely free. Just send me an email and I will send it to you, postage paid. And now my guest today is Dr. Slavin from Israel, and he has almost single-handedly put immunology in the forefront of hematology and of medicine. So, Dr. Slavin, welcome.
Thank you very much.
I hear you have been doing a lot of new work on cell therapy and regenerative medicine. Please tell us a bit about it.
Okay. It is not a secret that we still need a lot of innovative modalities for increasing the cure rate of cancer. For patients that have high-risk disease, a cure is not accomplished by conventional modalities, simply because conventional treatment does not kill the last tumor cell. In fact, the modalities used today may be effective against rapidly proliferating cells, but the cancer stem cell, the cancer initiating cell, is a priori resistant to chemotherapy and radiation. And therefore, even if the all visible cancer is eliminated in blood cancer or in solid tumors, the few cells that remain, that no machine can pick up today, these are the cells that will cause recurrent disease. So, considering the limitation of conventional anti-cancer modalities, immunotherapy is currently the method that can eradicate the last cancer cell once the immune system of the patient can recognize the tumor as being an enemy.
So we have to teach the immune system to recognize what is invisible.
Exactly. The only or the best way to cure cancer is to convince the immune system to kill the invisible cells that cannot be eradicated by conventional anti-cancer modalities. Exactly. That, in my opinion, is the secret of cure, which we are going to apply.
And you have already treated some patients.
Which we have already applied 30 years ago, and these patients are alive and well today, proving that even patients that are considered incurable can be cured.
What about regenerative medicine? I hear you've been working on this field also.
That is correct. I mean, considering our vast experience, working with cells, in the case of cancer, cells that can kill cancer, or activation of the immune system by immunotherapy that will force them to kill cancer, considering our experience working with a large number of cells that can be used therapeutically, in recent years we have also decided to start working with another type of stem cell, multipotent stem cell, named mesenchymal stromal cell. Now, the mesenchymal stromal cell is a cell that can build tissues because these cells can be differentiated to resemble nearly every tissue.
So it's really like having a living drug that you can give to the patient.
Exactly. We have shown that, first of all, it's textbook knowledge that mesenchymal stromal cells can create bone, they can create cartilage, they can create fat, and therefore they can be used easily by orthopedic surgeons to facilitate healing of complex fracture. Nowadays, with the 3D printers, you can even create a new bone and you can create new cartilage. You can put these cells into the joint and they will create a new cartilage, which normally does not occur normally. because the cartilage is an avascular tissue. But we have shown that such cells can also be differentiated to become neurons and also glial cells. So for example, these cells will be the treatment of choice once these procedures are approved for treatment of stroke, for treatment of Parkinson's disease, because they can be differentiated to dopamine secreting cells. They can be differentiated to glial cells like oligodendrocytes that secrete myelin. So these are going to be the treatment of choice for multiple sclerosis. Furthermore, these cells are anti-inflammatory. They can downregulate any inflammation. So we can treat autoimmune diseases with these cells. They can regulate the immune system. So I think we are facing a real revolution using live cells or products of live cells to treat diseases and clinical conditions until recently were considered incurable. And this is now a reality.
And so this is the work you're doing in Israel.
That is correct. We doing this work in Israel, and now we are extending our activities overseas. And the hope is that as many of these procedures will be approved as evidence-based medicine by intensive clinical research, we could offer treatment using cells to a broader spectrum of patients in need. Currently, many of those modalities are considered experimental and therefore can be done as clinical trials. But as treatments are being confirmed as being effective, more and more will be introduced clinically as routine. That is the dream, and that is the future of medicine.
Dr. Slavin, what strategy can we adopt in treating cancer in the modern world?
Well, I think perhaps the most important message is that in contrast to currently available methods, which are not user-friendly, since many of the anti-cancer agents intoxicate also normal cells, the future goal should be to make treatment, number one, early, try to eradicate cancer early. Number two, consider treatment that is targeted anti-cancer treatment in order to minimize side effects. Targeted anti-cancer treatment can be accomplished by innovative immunotherapy using patient's own immune system activated to kill cancer, and also using donor's immune system to kill cancer on the one hand, and using additional methods that would target the cancer while leaving normal cells intact. One of such approaches would be oncolytic viruses that will infect and kill cancer cells but will not harm any normal cells. Other methods currently in progress will also be used to target the cancer selectively. Selective and effective killing of cancer is the future approach to make progress for treatment of cancer. I would say for cure of cancer, not only treatment. Currently, people talk about treatment. I would like to talk about cure.
Thank you, Dr. Slavin, for this interesting talk.
Thank you.